All right, guys, so today our pumpkins have dried and we are going to add some details on top, and we're also going to re-outline the lines on our pumpkin and in our background. So remember last time we mixed our secondary colors, which are orange, green, and purple, out of our primary colors, which are red, yellow, and blue. You are going to have a plate to share with your table mates with black and white paint. You are also going to need a paintbrush, and I chose one that is pretty skinny, just like this. So we want it to be small enough to fit on these lines that we drew last time. So the first thing I'm gonna do is outline my pumpkin and the lines in my background. So I'm gonna get some paint on my brush with black paint. And then I'm going to always start at the top and trace my pumpkin lines just like I drew last time. And I am not pressing down on my brush. I'm kind of keeping it straight up and down, so like it's on its tippy toes, and just gently smoothing my paint over those lines. So on here, you can see that my paint kind of got a little bit of dry. So I can dip my paintbrush in the water just a little bit, and then I can smooth out that line on top. So you want to be careful that you are not pressing your brush, like I said. So I got some test paper so I can show you the difference between pressing on your brush and doing it on his tippy toes. So if we press really hard on our brush, it makes a really thick line like this. And you can see that is too thick for our pumpkin lines. But if I try to keep my paintbrush standing up straight like this, I can paint a thin line that will be much better for our pumpkin. So when you are using your brush, try your best to hold it straight up and down and not press super hard. Then you also want to outline your stem and the line back here for the grass. Okay, so our next color that we're going to use is white. So we want to make sure our paintbrush is really clean before we use our white paint, because otherwise if we mix white into black, it will make a gray paint instead of white paint. So I'm going to make sure that I tap my paintbrush on the bottom of my cup, and I'm going to look at it real quick and make sure there's no paint. And if there's a little bit of extra paint, you can get a paper towel and you can dry off your brush. Make sure that is really clean for the white paint. So in the sky, we are gonna add a moon and some little stars. There are two types of moons you could make. You could either do a circle moon or you could do a crescent moon. So a crescent moon is like a letter C. We're gonna paint a letter C in the sky. And then I'm gonna make a smaller letter C on the inside. And then all I have to do is fill it in. Remember, since we just learned how to use our paintbrush on its tippy toes, you can do that with your moon too to make sure it doesn't get too thick. Or if you want a circle moon, you could just draw a circle and fill it all the way in. And then for the stars, we're just gonna make little dots. So this time I'm gonna clean off my paintbrush again and dry it off. And then instead of using the brush side, we're gonna use the wooden or plastic side on your brush. So I'm gonna take my paintbrush and dip it into the paint, just like this. And then I can dot some little stars in the sky.